Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 67 of the Rock and Roll Beer Guy podcast. This episode is brought to you by Fuzzrocious Pedals. Go to fuzzrociouspedals.com for all of your guitar and bass effects pedal needs. They do custom orders, they do amazing hand-painted jobs on their cases, and their list of clientele is super impressive. Go there today and make sure you let them know if you pick something up that the podcast sent you. In this episode, I talked to Matt Heafy of the band Trivium. I had a really great time talking to him. We nerded out about video games. We nerded out a bit about music. We talked about their recent touring. We talked about Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. We talked about his diet and his love for food. And of course, we talk a little bit about beer. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And please leave us a review on iTunes. They really do help. Cheers. Welcome, everyone, to the Rock and Roll Beer Guy podcast. I'm here with Matt Heafy of the band Trivium.
How you doing today, everyone? Everyone doing good?
Where are you right now in the world?
I am in Orlando, Florida, finally.
Home.
Yeah, we just finished like a 12-week straight run, and then we've been off for about 3 weeks, and I think we go back out in 2 weeks, for 2 weeks, and then back again. So it's been getting in that grind, but it's been good.
Nice. Yeah, I see you got a tour for about a month from October 3rd to November 3rd also.
Yeah. So we've got like 2.5 weeks with Fit for an Autopsy in the States, and then we've got another tour with Avatar and Light the Torch coming up in October. And then we just finished a headlining tour in Europe where it was Trivium, Code Orange, Power Trip, and Venom Prison. Nice.
Those are good lineups, man. I mean, I really dig Tooth Grinder. I dig Code Orange. I mean, there's just a lot of bands that you guys are playing with that are awesome. So.
Oh, yeah. Our last U.S. run that we did at the end of last year was amazing. It was Trivium, Arch Enemy, While She Sleeps, and Fit for an Autopsy, and that was, I think the best North American lineup we've ever had, and that European lineup was insane. Like, that was definitely the tour of the year, in my opinion.
Nice. And so what you're saying is you get to choose the bands, right? It's not like a label thing or anything like that.
When we're headlining, yes. But if we're not headlining, then no. But if we're headlining, we absolutely make the call, and we absolutely pick the bands that we feel like we want to tour with, that our fans would love. And that's what this one coming up is too. This Fit for an Autopsy run. That's basically my favorite band in the world now, Fit for an Autopsy. So we're bringing them out again, and Bad Omens as well. It's a great band. And the Avatar run. Yep, Avatar, Light the Torch. I mean, Howard Jones is one of my favorite singers. I love Light the Torch, love Avatar. So it's always about touring with the bands we believe in.
Nice, man.
We've done some tours where it's like suggested by, powers that be. And I'm not saying label, but like other people or other things like, hey, you should tour with this band to kind of get these fans. And the ones that we've always been a little skeptical on, it's never been right. But the ones that we don't have to second guess, are like, this is what we want to do. It's always successful, and it's always something that our fans want to see.
That's awesome. Man. And you guys just put out a new video for Endless Night, I believe like a month ago or less than a month ago, something like that.
I'm not sure. So something like that. Something between 1 to 3 months. I lose all track of time. But yeah, that was great. We shot that one. I had to sing at the bottom of a 15-foot deep pool, which was really difficult to do, and it was kind of terrifying at the same time.
Was it
so full? That
full of water?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
It was really, really difficult to do. Like, yeah. I don't recommend that to anyone. It's kind of terrifying. They wanted to chain my feet to the bottom of the pool and have me breathing off an oxygen tank. So we did that for a little while. That's pretty terrifying.
Wow.
I'll do whatever it takes for this band. I'll suffer for this band.
Nice, man. Yeah, that sounds scary to me. I have an absolute irrational fear of deep waters. So. Oh
yeah, I don't enjoy it either. But I was like, well, I guess it's got to do it for the art.
Right. Nice, man. That's really cool. So how do you feel about music videos at this point? Like, we don't really have, like back in the day it was MTV and that's how you got your videos. Now it's more or less like if you find it on YouTube or if you're following the band pretty, Feverishly. But like, do you feel like they're still necessary?
To Good question. It's a really good question because it's a weird dilemma because right now there's no budgets for music videos because people could do it cheap. So labels are like, well, I've seen that this video can be cheaper, so the budgets are disappearing for metal bands. Mm-hmm. But then there are videos like, Childish Gambino's latest video. I think was one of the greatest videos I've seen in a long time. But that budget was probably, astronomical. It was probably, if you added up every video we've ever had, would have afforded to that video. Or same thing with Drake. Drake had $1 million budget and ended up just like passing out cash in one of his videos. So
yeah,
the ideas are there, but I feel like the labels need to be reinvesting in metal and rock bands because I think it's been a matter of too many really inexpensive videos have been made. Some labels are like, well, you can make this video for $5,000, so that's all I'm going to give you because this other artist did it for $5,000. And you see the same thing in like T-shirts too. That's one thing that we really invest in. We really do seek out the artists that want for T-shirts, and we pay them well because we know that a lot of other bands and labels don't want to pay for T-shirt designs. And so they kind of get stock, boring T-shirts that fans don't end up wanting to buy. So you have to invest in the product that you're selling. And that's something with the video thing, it's hard for us to do. Like those budgets are pretty ridiculous to get in the super creative field. So we try to always make them the best we can, the most intriguing that we can within the scope of the budget for metal.
Nice.
But yeah. I do find it important. It is more of a promotional device than it is anything else. So it's something that needs to happen, I believe. But I do feel metal and rock is where you don't see as much creativity necessarily in music videos. And when that does happen, I feel like it's something that's great. And I feel like when we made In Waves, that's something that sort of broke the mold, for at least for Trivium videos. And it became super creative and very different and very unique, where I think that's something that we need to stick to always making things that are visually artistic. It doesn't have to be a storyline or anything particularly weird, but it needs to be something well executed, and that's something fun and interesting for the viewers.
For sure, man. I mean, growing up, that was one of the biggest things for me with rock music was the videos. I always found them super intriguing, and I mean, even later, and like even Marilyn Manson, whom I don't listen to now, but when I was younger, those videos were intense, like visually stunning.
Oh man, yeah, he did a fantastic job in his early career of just presenting something so visually intriguing. And I mean, maybe the songs were great, but maybe the impact wouldn't have been as massive without the visuals, and his visuals were so good.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I think the video definitely helped the music itself get over, as it would say in pro wrestling. But and I wanted to ask you of like overall, just what's coming out with metal music these days. How do you feel about like what are your feelings of like the new metal wave that seems to be coming back for some reason? Like I don't understand why we can't push the boundaries and try and do something new, but I mean, whatever, to each their own.
I think that there are absolutely incredible heavy bands coming out. Like the tours we just did, Code Orange, Power Trip, Ben in Prison, Fit for an Autopsy, While She Sleeps. There are so many great young metal bands coming out. Architects, everything that Bring Me Horizon has been doing lately. The list goes on for really great, innovative bands. I think what's been happening, where one of the issues is you look at something like, I'm not saying all of it, but you look at rock radio. There's successful acts, so I don't know if it's the thought of bands or labels themselves. They decide, hey, we need to copy what this successful thing was. So let's get the same songwriter, the same studio, the same production team. Let's make this song sound like this other successful song. And I think that's the wrong way to go about it. I think when bands are unique and they're creating something that is different and they decide to go against the mold is when they're doing something important. But it's when, and that's not just rock, it's also pop. When there's one success story, everyone tries to copy that. That's the problem. Yeah. That's where creativity is lost and individualism disappears. So I just hope that people and that bands keep pushing it to be themselves and to stay ahead of the curve and do what they want to do, not what someone else is trying to do. Or when rock looks, how the format's changing and people are going more towards indie rock on active rock. You see active rock bands trying to sound like these indie rock bands, these indie pop bands. It's kind of hurting their own thing, where they should be the thing that's against that, the thing that's making something unique, so that way the people that want something different can go into heavy music. And I think that's what bands need to keep cultivating and pushing.
For sure. I mean, there was a wave of like, what do they call that? Doom metal, like stoner metal, like Sleep, and High on Fire and stuff like that. That at least here in Long Beach, I've noticed that every band is a doom metal band now, and it's like, guys, I get it.
Yeah.
Doom metal's cool, Sleep is amazing, all that, but don't copy it. Like, just try and push the
exactly.
boundary.
Yeah, you got to. Make something unique. Try to. I mean, sure, there's only 11, 12 notes that exist, but you can always create something new out of things that you're influenced by. That's where uniqueness comes from adding things that shouldn't go together and you making something like a sound that you're chasing in your head that hasn't existed. But with that being said, and with the part I said in the middle, what's more important is what I said in the beginning. There are absolutely incredible heavy bands happening. Conjurer from the UK is amazing. It's the kind of tech death, bleak, black metal-esque band. Mole from Denmark, who's kind of shoegaze black metal, which are two things that no one's ever said in the same sentence before. So it's this really atmospheric, bizarre melodicism on top of brutal black metal. Ishan is always pushing the boundaries. Ishan from Emperor. The new Leprous is amazing.
Nice.
Power Trip, Code Orange. I think those are two very, very important heavy bands. There's a lot of amazing heavy music, and I think it's a matter of, with us, we've always talked about the bands we're influenced by and the bands we're listening to, and we always tell our fans, listen to these bands, go buy these records. And that's why we want Fit for an Autopsy out again. I felt like their record last year was hands down the best metal record of the year. I listen to it daily when I go to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I listen to it to pump me up. It gives me goosebumps when I listen to it. So that's why I'm always wearing their shirts and telling fans and bringing them on tour. It's really important. The new Dire is Murder is amazing. So much good stuff. So much good heavy music right now, which I'm really happy about.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I was just listening to the new Vane, which is kind of seeming a little divisive. Some fans are telling me it's new metal. Some fans are telling me it's hardcore from the 90s. I dug it. I think it's cool. It sounds kind of like what Code Orange is doing, but a little more rough around the edges, I guess. A little less polished.
Yeah, man.
Which is good,
That's awesome. And Employed to Serve is another great heavy band in the UK that people should check out. It's just so many.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check out Fit for an Author. I haven't heard their new one yet, so I got to check that out.
Yeah, the new one's amazing, and they were just signing Nuclear Blast as well, which I'm really stoked about.
Nice. Yeah, I have some friends out there. Shout out to Silver if she's listening. But well, since you mentioned BJJ, I wanted to talk to you about that. Like, how do you stay in shape for that? While on tour and stuff. Like I know that once you're on tour, it can get a little rough to get exercise in or to eat right, because you're on the road. And I'm sure catering takes care of you guys, but I'm sure your diet is a little different than most.
Yeah, it is. I try to make everything balanced. I'm lucky. I'm lucky for a couple of things. We tour with 10x10 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu mats, and our head of security is an ex-MMA fighter, an ex-pro MMA fighter.
Nice.
So I have a constant trainer with me,
That's
and
great.
I always have Jiu-Jitsu stuff. So we're able to train a lot. Local food is my favorite thing in the world. I like food. I love food more than games, more than metal, more than sports. It's something that I love so much. I mean, maybe not more than metal, maybe equal to metal. So we're always seeking out the best local stuff. And the other part where I'm very fortunate is that Andre, our head of security, got me a Garden of Life endorsement years ago. This great all organic protein supplement company. So I half my meals are their shakes and their bars. The other half is local, anything I can find. So I try to keep everything mainly healthy. So that way, if I want to have deep fried chicken and waffles with fried eggs and bacon on top, I can do that too, because I've already been healthy throughout the day. I like to have everything very balanced. I guess I've called myself an extremist of moderation. I like a very regimented, scheduled, set system of things. So I'll eat super healthy 90% of the day. So that 10% I can do whatever I want.
Nice. And do you try and make an effort to go out and go to the best restaurant you could find in the area, or not best as in 5 stars or whatever, but the one that people are talking about?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Every single show day, every day, every city we're in. We basically tour around the food. We research what we're going to eat the next day in our bunks. We plan it out. We said, all right, this time we're going to hit this greasy spoon. And yeah, it's it could be a hole in the wall. It could be a food cart. It can be something shady in an alleyway. As long as it's the best to someone and it's something special and local, we're going to hit it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm the same way. I love exploring food, and I grew up watching Anthony Bourdain, and that was my goal of life. Was I want to travel and eat crazy food everywhere. I think that's awesome.
He's why I got into it. He's why I heard of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's why I started writing about food. I have an old food blog I don't write for anymore, but it's kichichaos.com. My wife and I had a food blog, metallandhoney.com. Bourdain, that's one man I never got to meet. I wish I could have told him how much he's done for me. I'm sure everyone wishes that was a fan of his. So that's one of my main regrets in life, not being able to tell him in person. And sometimes in the back of my mind, I wonder if I know when I've had fans tell me that. Remember, I was having a bad day once, and everyone has these days, and I feel bad, that I'm in such a fun job that people aspire to be. But I was having one of those days where I was like questioning everything. Am I doing the right thing? Have I done enough? Am I in the right place? I was at a restaurant with my wife, one of our favorite restaurants in town called Prado. Not 15 seconds after saying that, am I all that I should be? Am I doing enough? Am I good enough? What is this amounting to? Server comes up to me, he says, I just want to let you know I'm a huge fan of your band. I love everything you've done. This is from the kitchen. We're all fans of you. Check this special out. This is for you guys. Right when I said that. So it totally changed the course of that kind of darker moment I was having. Yeah. So I wish I could have told, hey, thank you so much. This is why I do what I do and why you've made what I do even more fun. But who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame, man. He is one of the few people I hadn't met. I mean, I've met a few chefs like Morimoto and Bobby Flay and some of the cool. the celebrity chefs, but never got a chance to meet Bourdain. He was definitely someone I still model my life after.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, it doesn't go down the same path that he ended up taking, but it's still the traveling and the seeing different cultures, and I loved that he would get a tattoo in every different country. And do you have any tattoos, by the way?
Yeah, I've got most of my body is fully tattooed now, but I only have a couple pieces. I've got 4 tattoos. My entire back down to the middle of my hamstrings is all my pieces are duplicates of ancient Japanese pieces. So my back it depicts Susanoo fighting Yamata no Orochi in the sea. So it's an 8-headed serpent who's being battled by one of the Japanese war gods. That's on my back. Left arm is Watanabe no Tsuna battling Ibaraki at the Rashomon Gate. And this sounds really intense and long, and what the hell did he just say? That's on my left arm. My right arm is the Ascending Dragon by Kitagawa Utamaro, which is another classic piece. And it's basically my tattoo artist renditions of these classical pieces, which they're familiar with. So that's what I have. And then for my wedding band, I have the Japanese Enso, which is a symbol of perfection, imperfection, completion, incompletion, and that's my wedding band.
That's awesome, man. That's super sick. I have so many questions. Every time you say something, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to talk about this. So you were born in Japan. You were born in Iwakuni?
Yep, I was born in Iwakuni in a Marine Corps military hospital base. My dad's a Marine, my mom's Japanese, so I've always considered myself half Marine, half Japanese. I think that's why I lived such a regimented life.
Yeah, it definitely helps.
And I feel like that's why I'm so structured.
Yeah, that definitely helps when you're growing up living in a type of household like that. I mean, I wasn't born into it, but I eventually lived on base in North Carolina for a little bit with my mother and her boyfriend because he left on a tour and she was alone, so she was like, "Can you please move in with me for a year till he comes back?" And I'm like, sure, let's do that. But it is crazy to wake up in the morning at 5, 6 in the morning to helicopters and explosions when they're doing their little test runs,
That's nuts. That's nuts.
Yeah, man. And all right, so you also mentioned a war god, Japanese war god.
Yep.
You guys had a song on God of War 3. Yes?
In the Skies Above, yeah.
That is awesome. Tell me how that happened. How did they reach out to you? Did you reach out to them?
Yeah, they reached out to. I've always been really into video games, which actually will transition us into our next little conversation piece, I'm sure. I've always been really into games. I beat Mario when I was before I could speak English, while I was still speaking Japanese with my mom. I can't speak Japanese anymore. Nice. Final Fantasy has always been a huge part of my life. We used the Final Fantasy VII movies music for our intro and outro for a couple of years. I guess my other kind of job outside of Trivium /full-time thing I do is I Twitch stream now.
Yeah.
So I stream video games. I stream my daily 2 to 4 hour vocal guitar practice. And this morning I was just playing with Dakotas, who's one of the biggest Fortnite streamers in the world. So we've been playing pretty much Monday through Fridays. And it's cool, man. I love the two worlds. I've become buddies with the Overwatch team at Blizzard. They sent me a care package of all these Overwatch dolls. And I think a Fortnite package is coming soon. So it's been really cool to collide these worlds because I love games, and I feel like metal's the perfect music for video games.
Yeah, even when it was back in the day, back in the Nintendo days, you listen to Contra and Metroid and all these old games. Their soundtracks are basically metal, just in a MIDI 8-bit kind of sound, but chiptune or whatever they call it. But if you translate that into a guitar, it's like super metal riffs.
That's maybe some of the reason why I got into metal. Maybe just like all those games always had that subliminally implanting into my mind. I mean, my dad was also really into metal, and that was cool. My parents were really supportive of me being into metal and being in the band. My dad managed the band from when I was like 13 to probably 25.
Wow.
So my family's been super supportive, and it's been really great.
Well, okay, so I don't think I got the answer. So did they reach out to you, or did you reach out to them for God of War?
Oh, God of War. God of War did reach out to us, and I think originally they were saying, is there a song you want to use? And we said, no, we'll write a song. We'll write something new.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, so you play a lot of Fortnite. You stream your jiu-jitsu, you stream your practices, and you stream yourself playing games. So you basically have your very own reality TV
Truman Show.
Yeah, Truman Show.
Yeah, we stream every single show on tour. Ever since I got the backpacks from Twitch headquarters, we've streamed every single show, every festival show. I've streamed every warm-up for every show. Awesome. Yeah, jiu-jitsu on the road. Jiu-jitsu, unfortunately and oddly, is kind of like where the viewership drops a bit, because it is a strange martial art. Like, if you don't know it, it doesn't make sense, and it looks kind of weird.
Yeah.
So I only do it on Fridays for open mat when I'm at home, and then on tour, it's any day we train. But the things that's been working the best, it seems like Trivium fans love the music part. And as I get slightly better at games, the more like the Twitch audience is coming to me, because I'm not pro level by any means. And to really get those amazing contents of viewers on Twitch, you have to be an amazing gamer.
Yeah.
So that's really the main thing of it. And I feel like I'm getting better, especially being able to play with Dakotas. And anyone who knows Fortnite or Twitch, they know Dakotas. He's up there with Ninja. If Ninja's the king of Fortnite, I consider Dakotas right up there with him.
Nice. I mean, I tried Fortnite. I'm not good at it. I can't deal with the building portion of it. The shooting and stuff is fine.
Are you PC or console?
Console right now, yeah.
Okay. If you ever switch to PC, either one works, because I mean, there's a couple pro guys like Cypher PK. He's like a huge streamer, and he does PS4. But if you do switch to PC, it's all about binding the builds to something you're comfortable with. Like, I've got my builds bound to my mouse, which the initial stock binds are the F keys, which I think is crazy because it's so far from your hands.
Yeah.
So I've got my stairs as my thumb button 4, my thumb button 3 is my wall, the mouse scroll clicker is the roof. So once you know where everything is, that's really where you shine.
Yeah, I think I think that would be better for me. I grew up as a PC gamer, and then and also console, but I played a lot of PC games, and I just feel more comfortable playing with more options.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry if my phone just cut out a little bit. I just leave the house.
Oh, no problem. Yeah. So okay, jiu-jitsu. Is this just for personal, what's the purpose for practicing so much? I mean, I don't think you're trying to become a professional fighter.
No, absolutely not. I'm not into striking at all, so that's one thing I don't train. I'm not interested in. I haven't even really. I used to watch MMA a little bit, but I'm really just into sport jiu-jitsu now. Submission only jiu-jitsu, particularly. I've competed competition. I'm sure some musicians will disagree with me, but for me, it's double risk, because I got to watch my hands, my arms, my throat, my voice. And competition is rough. It's not your normal training partners. You're both in there to win. You're not friends. It's all about someone winning. So I did it. It was great. It was great that I did it, but it's too risky with the amount I tore. But at home, I used to train 6 days a week. I've since shortened it a little bit down to 4 days a week. 4 days a week at BJJ, about an hour and a half a day, where I used to do 6 days a week, 2 hours a day. But now with the Twitch streaming, I feel like that kind of balanced me out a little bit, which is good. I just love BJJ. I've always wanted to do a martial art. I think being Japanese or being Asian, you kind of have this genetic want to be into a martial art. But I wanted to be in the one that made sense. I wanted to be in the one that made the most sense for self-defense, for practical applications. I know I'm not strong, I'm not fast. That's what's great about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If you are a master of Jiu-Jitsu, it doesn't matter how strong or fast your opponent is. Mm-hmm. You can control the pace of whatever may or may not happen. Bourdain was definitely an influence to getting into it. My heritage was a little bit, and just researching everything and researching what the best martial arts would be for real-life situations. And maybe some people that train different arts would disagree, but I feel like BJJ is the best thing for real life.
For sure, definitely. I mean, it's one of those things. I used to train as well, and my the sensei was like, "Dude, I don't want to train you. We're supposed to train people against people like you." Because I'm a pretty big guy. I'm tall and stocky. So he's like, you can't be good at jujitsu. What's yeah. So that's
why, because we do have a lot of like really big, strong guys at our school, and before I just get flattened by them, but. Because my school is a little more traditional, they don't really focus too much on leg locks and heel hooks. But I've recently fallen completely in love with heel hooks. Okay. So that's kind of become my specialty, and that's like the one thing that I found that does work against you difficult big guys. Because when they're big and strong and they learn jiu-jitsu, then it's nuts. So I've been recently going into the dark arts, and I'm just head over heels obsessed in love with heel hooks.
Nice. I wanted to ask
you
the very dark part. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the Kichi Chaos. What does that mean? What does Kichi mean for you?
Kichi's my middle name.
Okay.
It's not like widely known, but I guess it's fine to talk about because we talked about Bourdain as well. Well, my uncle Kichi actually committed suicide when I was younger, and it was my middle name before that happened, obviously. But I do feel it's good for me to kind of like have his name live on, which is nice. Mm-hmm. I never really got to know him either, and like I said, this is probably the first time I really ever mentioned that. But Kichi is my middle name. Ki means undefinable. Ichi means one, so undefinable, indefinable one. Chaos.
Nice.
I got the idea for the chaos part because it was a nice kind of ring that Kichi chaos thing, but chaos is from Chaos Reigns, our song where I got the title from the film Antichrist. Mm-hmm. It just seemed to be a nice play on words, Kichi Chaos Reigns, and it's Kichi Chaos Reigns and Kichi Chaos. So first it was my food blog name, but now it's my gamer tag.
Yeah.
So my Twitch.
Yeah, I saw some merch recently posted up. Like a shirt that says, when are you guys coming to Brazil?
It's like a meme in my Twitch chat. Like, one of the things that's always spammed in my Twitch chat is kids from Brazil saying, when are you coming to Brazil? So we decided to make that a shirt because it's a real life meme.
Yeah, I've heard this from a couple people where their Instagrams are just flooded with that. Like, when are you coming to Brazil? It's like, oh my God.
We made a very successful t-shirt. But yeah, so all those shirts are for it's like my Twitch store. So we've got like all that merch for my Twitch stuff.
Nice. So is it that no one ever plays Brazil? Is that what it is? I thought the Rock in Rio thing was on there.
No, we played there, and the tour was amazing. I was actually touring Brazil. That was another thing that led me to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because I loved it there so much. Mm-hmm. But I said to myself, I want to do what Brazilians do, and that's either soccer or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I wanted to do what, in my opinion, the more difficult one was.
Nice. Oh, I wanted to go a little bit more into video games with you. Just so you mentioned Final Fantasy. I'm a huge fan. I mean, I have Ultros tattooed on my arm from 6.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I proposed to my fiance.
I love 6 so much.
Yeah, dude, it's my favorite one. I wish they would remake that one instead of 7, but that's a different conversation. But yeah, I proposed to my fiance at the Final Fantasy Symphony in Miami. And it was
that's so cool.
Yeah, dude, I had the pleasure of Uematsu being there and Arnie Roth, who's the conductor.
Man.
Yeah, dude, and there's video of it on the internet, but like they stopped the show. They posted up a video with that scene where Cloud walks up to Aerith. I don't know. There was 2 different versions from it. Aerith, yeah. When he crashes through the church and he's in that pile of flowers, and she finds him, and they changed the text into my proposal for her.
Oh my God, so cool, dude!
And all this happened.
Man, I would freak out.
Yeah, all this happened with like a couple emails. I emailed the venue, then they put me in touch with the managers for the conductor. Then the conductor came back to me. And they're like, oh yeah, by the way, Uematsu's going to be there. I'm like, what?
That's so amazing, man.
Yeah, dude. They put a spotlight on us. It was insane.
Oh, that's so cool. It's so cool you mentioned that, because actually yesterday, my wife, who helps me with a lot of my social media, said she got a message about someone who wants to propose to his wife at our show.
Oh,
and we're just saying how we're going to arrange that coming up. Yeah, that's really cool.
So, what other video games have you played? Chrono Trigger?
Oh yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, Chrono Trigger. My favorite Final Fantasies are 7, 6, and 4. Those are my favorite of all time.
Nice.
Not in any order. Those three at the same time. 7, 6, 4, and probably 9. And then Chrono Trigger, yes. 9's amazing. I like 9 because it reminded me of 4 and 6.
Yeah.
That's why I liked it so much. So yeah, it's like all over there. But since getting into streaming, Overwatch was my first main game. I'd stream all the time. I love Overwatch. I loved StarCraft 2 as a kid. I haven't streamed StarCraft 2, surprisingly. But so Overwatch, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, CSGO, and as soon as I got into Fortnite, that's been all I've played. But the first time I tried Fortnite, I hated it because I did not understand the building thing. I didn't understand the animation. But now I realize it's got a really steep learning curve, but once you get it, it's the most fun game that exists. I think it has the highest replay value of any game that I've ever played.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I gave it a shot. Maybe I need to go back and give it another shot, but I'm much better at PUBG. And I feel that maybe the realism aspect of it is better for me, but I don't know. I got to give Fortnite another shot for sure.
That's the same thing. What's weird is I always used to prefer realistic games, realistic shooters. Like I was always more into. It's interesting because Call of Duty is revered on console, but on PC it doesn't exist. No one plays any of the Call of Duty games on PC. They play Counter-Strike instead.
Yeah.
But I was always more into realistic shooters versus the kind of sci-fi, cartoony, fake shooters. I was more of a Call of Duty guy than a Halo guy.
Right.
But with Fortnite, it just breaks the mold for me. I love it so much. Like I loved PUBG, but I was kind of terrible. Then getting into Fortnite, I'm finally getting good, but it took a long time. It took a long time to get decent at it. It's like BJJ. I feel like Fortnite is like BJJ, and so is Metal. It's these incredibly technically difficult things that have all these different aspects of how you play the game and how you do these things. But once you start to master it, after that, Jiu Jitsu, I was just terrible for and I still get my ass kicked, but I was just terrible for 4 years. And then finally it clicks. And okay, I understand what this thing is now. That's how it was with me with Fortnite. After, I don't know, thousands of games logged, it finally clicked.
Nice, man. I don't know how you have time for all this. I barely have time
I don't
to play.
Either. I don't know, man. I've had people ask me, man, don't you get stressed out with, this intensely filled schedule? But I think because I'm such a high anxiety person that it actually calms my anxiety to have a ton of things to do at all times.
Yeah,
I wake up and my schedule, 9 to 11 I stream, and it's either warming up but now it's playing with Dakotas and playing Fortnite. So 9 to 11 I stream, I do yoga or kettlebells, and then go to Jiu Jitsu, then come back, and then from 3 till 6:37 is where I stream again, my practice, and I do Trivium songs. But anyone that subscribes to my channel, they basically pick the set list. So I say, all right, subs, what songs do you want to hear today? We have so many. I think we have 125 songs. I think that's what Spotify said. 125 Trivium songs. So my subscribers can just pick my set every single day. And we've been doing new things like Kichikast Karaoke. We've been doing Kichikast Karaoke, the normal edition, where people kind of auction-style bid. We started at $1. So I bid $1 for Seal Kissed by a Rose, and then people kind of try to outbid each other for these tubbers. So I've done Ocean Man by Queen, Toto Africa. I've done Kissed by a Rose by Seal, Britney Spears, Hit Me Baby One More Time. So we do that. And we also have the Trivium edition, where people do the same thing, but I do extremely rare Trivium songs that I've basically forgotten. So I relearned the Crusade on stream the other day. I relearned Shogun on stream a couple months ago. Just trying to keep it fun. Doing interesting things.
That's awesome, man. And I mean, I'm assuming you have enough subscribers to where Twitch is actually paying you for per subscriber kind of deal?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing deal they've got, because Amazon bought Twitch. I think it was for $1 billion. But so anyone who has Amazon Prime gets a free subscription to any streamer, but they have to reapply it every month. So any human being in the world that owns Amazon Prime just has to make a Twitch account. They hook those two things up and they get a free subscription. So the free subscription for the person, Amazon gets $2.50, and the streamer gets $2.50. That's why when you get guys like Ninja who have 300,000 subscribers, maybe half of them are due to Amazon Prime. People didn't have to pay for that, and he does get paid for that, which is really cool. So that's the same for me. Like a huge chunk of my subscribers are Amazon Prime. So there's Prime, which is free, $5 a month, $10 a month, and $25 a month, and the percentage keeps doing more in favor of the streamer the higher up the cost. So
wow.
It's really good. And the weirdest thing about Twitch that didn't make any sense to me, because being a band guy, anytime I've ever talked about, I wish kids would buy records more. People always like, oh, you're a rich band guy. How dare you say that? You shouldn't be allowed to talk about people buying stuff, which I've just kind of grown up with in the music world. Like, that's how it is. But in Twitch culture, people want to donate money to you at all times for random things. So I'll have people just donate money. Hey, dude, cool solo. Here's $10. Or I had one kid drop a couple $100. I was like, why did you do that, man? He's like, oh, just because. Like, is there a song you want to hear? Yeah, Shogun. So I learned Shogun. And then he donated again after that. So some people just want to do that, and it's so mind-blowing. And when people listen back to this who don't know what Twitch is, they're going to think it's insane. They're going to think it's crazy that a band guy's doing this, but that's part of the culture. And the biggest streamers in the world who are really cleaning up and really have great fan bases are getting insane donations for their supporters. It's really amazing. It's really amazing.
Yeah, man, and props to you for, staying on top of that and actually connecting with the audience. And, because a lot of the people that have been around for a while in the scene with music and whatnot, they have a hard time with what's happening with social media and what's happening with streams and stuff like that. Like, more people should be doing this. More big bands.
I 100% agree. Yep, yeah. I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, I do see a lot of people that are always fighting at technology, or like bands and artists saying no phones allowed at the shows. I think that's crazy. I think we should absolutely be, there's a degree. We shouldn't be giving up everything in life, but if you can find that proper balance, it's so great and so important to stay in touch with your fans. I love it. And what's cool about Twitch, the Twitch community as well, is you can set your own rules. So the rules, when you come to my channel and my chat room, it's basically acceptance of all. There's no talks about anything divisive or discriminatory. There's no talks about anything that's divisive, and it's just purely about people coming together and having a good time, which I love so much. I love that we can control that.
That is awesome.
You can't do that. You can't do that on Twitter. You can't do that on Facebook. But on my Twitch, you have to click, I agree to this. I agree that I just want to be here and have a good time. And I think that's very important.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. I appreciate that you're doing that. It is a very tough time right now where everybody wants to just argue with each other. Everything is divided. It's so crazy.
It is such a bummer. It is such a bummer. So it's nice to have this safe haven where people can just talk about things they love. That's what I encourage. Like when there's like and there's two apps. There's Twitch, which is the main thing. There's a thing called Discord, which is basically a giant WhatsApp server. Mm-hmm. So in there we've got like places if people need outreach or need to vent about something. But generally the live Twitch chat, it's just talking about things you love, which is important.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm familiar with Discord. My fiance actually works at Activision, so she gets, she handles a lot of the channels for the community support. So cool. Yeah, the community support. They have a program called the Ambassador Program where they reach out to fans who can then do their part by providing tech support and answering questions to people that need to, and they earn rewards through that. Like, hey, here's a care package with a bunch of stuff, or here's a free copy of Black Ops, or whatever. You know what I mean?
That's so cool. That's so cool. She works there. Yeah, I've got a lot of buddies who work at Blizzard.
That's awesome. Yeah, she doesn't do much with the Blizzard games. Like they make her focus mostly on Call of Duty and when Crash Bandicoot the remaster came out, stuff like that. But the Blizzard stuff, they have their own team out there. So, but yeah, I have a couple more music questions, and then I wanted to talk to you about beer. If you're down.
Okay, killer. Yeah. I'm gonna have to split at like 6:14. I've got a doctor's appointment I gotta run into.
Okay.
But I've got a couple minutes right now.
All right. Well, quick. Have you seen? I'm sure you have, but that's how I found out about your band. The misheard lyrics video. There's like an interpretation video of one of your songs.
Boat Rudder, Strange Mountain. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's hilarious about that video is the kid that made that apparently hated Trivium, hated us, but he made it and we loved it so much. And now at shows, people bring Boat Rudder, Strange Mountain signs. You see people make human rowboats during the set. And actually, when we play that song on stream, I always do those lyrics. I do the Boat Rudder lyrics. I don't have the rest memorized.
But
I love that stuff. I Oh, yeah. I love embracing the meme, embracing the hilarity. I mean, most of my Instagram is me just kind of posting really meme-esque, ugly faces of me, funny things of me, like silly things that I've done. All my Twitch emotes are just like ugly faces of me. I totally embrace it.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, you gotta be able to laugh, and you gotta be able to enjoy your life. So, some people take it too seriously, and they get all depressed or whatever about it. I'm glad you take a positive spin on it. So,
absolutely, you got to, man. You got to, because I consider the time and the place to get out the negative energies. Because I mean, I've got down days. I've got obviously in the lyrics. I've got my own issues, but I put that in the music, so the music can be the punching bag, and that way, like when we're interacting, with fans and other things, it can be fun. We can have fun, and we can enjoy things, and be geeky, and be normal people, which is really fun.
Nice, man. So, beer. I know you enjoy beer. I know you're friends with my buddy Kyle from Cigar City, or at least you've talked to him on Instagram and stuff like that. So, if you were to make a beer for yourself, who would you want to do it with?
Oh, man. Well, what's awesome is we're huge Odell fans. I consider Odell one of the best breweries in the country, and they made a limited Trivium triple that was like a one-time thing. They did it in one night, sold out right away. It was a Belgian-style triple. But my favorite, drinkable beer is probably Japanese-style Belgian. Belgian-style Japanese. That's always tricky to say. Belgian-style Japanese. One of my favorite brews is called Ginga Kogen. It's kind of hard to find. You have to find it in, legit Japanese restaurants. Because in Japanese restaurants, when people go and get an imported beer, they're like, all right, it's imported. The thing is, most of the giant Japanese beers are imported from Canada. So it's technically still imported, but it's not made in Japan. But Ginga Kogen is. So the Belgian-style Japanese would be one that I would love to make for, a signature me or Trivium beer. But the other favorites are Belgian triples, Belgian quads, a little bit over triples, abs. I love sours and creeks, Hefeweizens. So I know those two things are total polar opposites, but those are probably my favorites. Belgians and then Hefes on the other side.
Nice. I had someone suggest, because I posted on Facebook, I was talking to you, and someone suggested a beer name called Kirisute Gozum.
Kiristegolmen. It's an old samurai code, which basically means sorry, but I have to take your head. And that's our first song off Shogun. I learned about that. It was an old samurai code. So basically, if you offended a samurai, they live by that code. And it means if you piss off a samurai, he can cut your head off.
Nice.
By law. And so I learned about that, and I made a song called Kiristegolmen. And sometimes history can be fun.
Yeah, the other suggestion was Into the Mouth of Ale We March. That was the another beer name suggestion.
Awesome. I love that one. That's a really good one.
Yeah, man. So, that's awesome. Is there a brewery that you would want to do this with in your mind? So you said Odell, right? So Odell would be maybe your choice?
Odell is the one. Oh, wait 1 second. My phone's still connected. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, awesome. Odell's the one that did that limited triple, which was really killer. But I would love, being a Florida boy, Cigar City, man. I would love to do a Cigar City Trivium beer. I think that'd be really fantastic.
Hell yeah! I think you know somebody there. I think they might be able to help you with that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I think they're swamped right now, but as soon as they're unswamped, I hope we can make it happen. Because Cigar City is so amazing, man. And Kyle, he hooked up something so awesome for me. I hit him up one day when I was visiting my brother-in-law for his surprise birthday party. I was like, hey man, we're coming down. Is there, maybe we can sneak in there? And he arranged a private tour, private room, all this really killer stuff. It was so nice of him to do that.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. And they can make it happen. I made a beer with Killswitch Engage when I was working at Cigar City. So.
Oh, you worked at Cigar City?
Yeah, I did 2 years there, and in that time we did the Alive or Just Brewing beer with Adam.
Dude, that's so cool. Yeah, I remember Kyle was telling me the story about the Killswitch one. I didn't know you worked on that too. That's really rad.
For sure, yeah, man. Cool, dude.
Yeah, we get the Florida boys on that, man.
For sure. Well, I know you got to go. You got a doctor's appointment. Thank you so much for taking some time. I know your insanely busy schedule that we just went over. But I appreciate it, man, and we'll stay in touch. I mean, Florida boys need to stay in touch, like you said.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, now you got my contact. Just hit me up whenever you want to have a chat. Yeah, what I'm checking out is I've had this really weird circulation thing. I thought that only happens to old folks. But I got to find out what's up with my circulation in my feet. I keep turning purple when I stand, which isn't good. So I'm getting it checked out right now. So that's a reminder to all men, because I know us dudes don't like to go to the doctor, but when there's something weird, you got to get it checked out.
For sure. Definitely get yourself checked out, dude. And hope it's nothing crazy, and you can fix it soon.
I probably just gonna wear compression socks everywhere now.
Yeah, probably. Or do the, now every time you wake up, you need to do 30 minutes of foot massage.
That sounds fine to me.
Yeah, right.
All right, my friend.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for
everything.
everything.
All right, dude. Thank you so much. All right, you take care.